at that election. Also, my colleague that's here today, Dr. Divesh Dik from Punjab University, was elected as the deputy chair. So I will do probably the main presentation about our commission, and Divesh will also add in a little bit more about, especially about the World Congress in 2023 in Delhi, which we were both in attendance at, and the upcoming WOW Congress. So let's get started. Okay, so first a little bit just about who we are and what our commission is about. We are a group of anthropologists from across the biological social anthropology divide, especially interested in sort of biosocial people who are combining both of those, are working across that divide, who focus on questions related to age and generations and the life course. So quite broad there. We share research on the diversity of cultural understandings about aging and social changes in response to demographic shifts, the interactions between age and disability and illness, intersectionality between age and gender and race and so on. So quite a broad range of topics that fall under that. Which is always keeps it interesting, I think. And we also really think that it's important to critically engage with issues like the social exclusion of older voices and perspectives around the world, and that goes for anthropology as well. I think anthropology has long sort of relied on older people, for example, as informants and so on. I'm sorry, I'm going in the wrong way. As informants, as important interlocutors in our work, in our field, and yet their sort of positions or their voices as older people are not always recognized as such. And we really want to emphasize the importance of older people as having agency, as being important actors in their societies, and not merely as sort of passive or so on, voiceless. So that is one of the things that a lot of our members are interested in and that their work points out. We also want to contribute to different kinds of policies, advocacy on behalf of older people and families and carers, recognizing that working for a better life for older people is really better for all of us. And right now we are in the WHO decade of healthy aging, as they say. This tends to be dominated, of course, by a lot of medicalized perspectives and so on. But there's quite a lot in that's about ageism, that's about social exclusion. I think that anthropologists can really have a strong voice in those kind of conversations, and that's something that we are trying to encourage amongst our members, and find ways that our research can contribute to that. Okay. So I looked into the beginnings of the commission, and the first, I believe the first chair was Jay Sokolovsky, who's based in the U.S., and he said that the first sort of official meeting where they established this commission was way back in 1988 at the 12th International IUAES Intercongress in Zagreb. And that started, there was a big symposium about aging in Latin America. That was the main kind of organized event there. But that was when the commission started. And some of the founding members were Jay and Maria Vesperi, Maria Cattell, Dana Schenk. They're all based in the U.S. And Leng Leng Tang, who's based in Singapore. And those were the first sort of chairs of the commission. From that time, all the way through until about, until I came on board, I think back in like 2019. So the commission has long had close ties to the Association for Anthropology, Gerontology, and the Life Course, which is a group that's been around since, I think, 1979, if I'm correct. And this has always been, this is a nonprofit organization that has sort of worked to try to bring together anthropologists, together with gerontologists and so on, and sort of not to be tied down to any particular other organization like the AAA or something. But it's always sort of been there. It's an international organization. And it has conferences, it has student awards, and it produces a peer-reviewed journal, Anthropology and Aging, which several of our commission members are on the editorial board of and have been past editors of. So that is an important journal for us. Right, we've also had winners of the student awards and so on through AAGE. So that is the start. We had presence at the World Congress in 2013, Manchester, with a day-long event called Age-Friendly Communities from Research to Practice, and that was organized by Phil Stafford and Chris Phillipson, Tina Buffalo, and those names that you see there. This resulted in an edited volume with Berghan called The Global Age-Friendly Community Movement, A Critical Perspective. And that gathered a lot of interest from folks there. We continued that with the Inter-Congress in 2014 in Chiba. And that was one where I was one of the organizers of a panel called Politics of Life and Death and the Practice of Caring. There's another panel there called Considering Ideas and Practices to Create Age-Friendly Communities. So going on with these age-friendly communities kind of theme. We also had a presence at the congresses in 2020, 2021, the pandemic years, online conferences, but we still organized some panels. The Legacies and Next Generation Anthropology Coming of Age on Earth Congress, we organized one called Coming of Old Age on Earth, Imagining Our Aging Future. And then for the Yucatan Conference, another panel sort of building on that on of the future of futurity, which might have been on several people's minds as we were zooming in and during the whole lockdown and pandemic, thinking about generation, heritage, and interconnection in an aging world. Right. We were at the World Congress in 2023, and we had a lot of interest at this Congress in our main panel, which was Envisioning World Anthropologies of Aging in the Life Course, Bringing the Marginal to the Center. So we had a few dozen people that were submitting papers to that. We ended up basically with a full day event that was looking at the anthropology of aging, mostly from a South Asian perspective, but looking at the world anthropology of aging and sort of shifting that away from the global north and to other areas and other perspectives. So that's me and my colleague Divesh. And now, Divesh, do you want to say anything more about the World Congress and our activities there?
Yeah, thank you, Jason. I would like to mention that in World Congress held at New Delhi 2023 was remarkable for our commission, as we had several papers to be presented, and we had invited many scholars. They registered under various panels under our commission, and it was a great success for our commission. And in 2024 also, Jason, if you can shift the slide to 2024. Next slide, yeah, please. Yeah, in Johannesburg also we are conducting 4 panels under our commission, and we have the P14, that retracing the invisible and the silent, condensed history, effective atmosphere, and the palpability of the obliterated emplacements. Panel PN28, that is my own panel, in which I will be convening at Johannesburg along with the Alexandra Crampton from Marquette University, USA. PN53, that is about care and the anthropological imagination, organized by Jagriti Gangopadhyay, that Jason Denley from Oxford Bookstore University, and Leonard Mendelsohn, University of Witwatersrand, ZA. PN28, Navigating Aging, Contemporary Perspective on Elderly Care, organized by Nilanjani, and from Tanza, from University of Amsterdam. We are also collaborated with the Commission on Pandemics for our panel, that is PN28 for the same. And we are quite hopeful about the development of our commission, because we are including some collective effort from the various spheres of the anthropologists, which will be presenting different type of research papers collectively in our commission. Yeah, that's over to you, Jason. Yeah.
Thanks, Divesh. Yeah, we're really looking forward to this. These are really popular panels. The Care and the Anthropological Imagination panel, for example, now it's a 3 sessions, 12 papers, and we're really excited that there are several papers that are from anthropologists who are based in Africa, and we're able to get that perspective as well. Unfortunately, I won't be able to come, but I'll be online and joining in that way. Okay. So as far as future plans, and I'll just wrap this up, this is the last thing. We have a wonderful intern right now for the internship program, Jimena Lopez. She's been putting lots of stuff online. We have 760 Facebook followers and 175 followers on X right now, but she's been putting up lots of content, including member publications, a lot of open access publications around aging and anthropology. So really building up that sort of shared knowledge base has been fantastic, but also introducing the members and putting up their profiles. We love our interns. We also look forward to doing more work with AAGE, also with the European Association of Social Anthropology's network called AgeNet. They had a conference in Venice last year. We had several IUAES members that came there and were presenting both in person and online, and that was really fantastic. Again, I think the IUAES, I think it's not just, a branch of these other organizations, but it's really this, it has this global reach that they don't have. And so I think it really plays an important role in bringing in other scholars from around the world to those. And then coming out of the World Congress in 2023, my colleague Supriya and I are going to be editing the Routledge Handbook of Anthropological and Development Studies Approaches to Aging. That will come out in 2026, we're hoping, and really be a kind of foundational resource for the field, looking at the future, which is the aging of the Global South. And so it's really going to have a concentration on that, on diasporas, on indigenous people, but taking the focus away from the Global North, where it's been when it comes to aging. And then development studies, which has traditionally had a focus on youth and young people, looking at older people and those kind of challenges. We have more ideas that we're talking about as far as webinars, sharing research, growing our membership. Again, our intern has been great with helping with that. And we are eager to collaborate with other commissions. So if you have members or ideas about how aging generations in the life course might be something that you want to engage in, please get in contact with us. And that's the end. Sorry, a little bit long.
Oh, thank you very much. It was really, really very inspiring. Yeah. Could you just stop share so everyone can see?
Yeah.
There are a couple of questions. Yeah. Questions for traditional aging from the life cycle. No questions. I just want to say something. I'm really glad you're happy with your intern. And I also know that you give her a lot of stuff. So it's really important for other people that maybe the intern will work less, just to give them materials to post. And then you can have what Jason's having, like so many followers and so many posts. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, it will go, the third item, I'm not going to put up now the agenda again. It was actually issues that evolved from our last meeting. So the first issue was that actually it was written, Felipe was going to combine or collide the reports that had been submitted by all of you. And yeah, he sent us some material. I'm sorry, Felipe, I didn't get to read it. I opened the computer an hour before the meeting. So maybe you can explain, yeah?
Sure, can I share my screen?
You can just go downstairs and do share screen. You can share.